Hello, buddy, this is Purge doing a replay commentary. I know it's been literally years since I last did one of these, but I actually played a bunch of Dota off stream yesterday. Most of the times I stream when I play, but I've been playing a lot with the new patch. So here's the Lifestealer game that I played. Now, Lifestealer's win rate is not looking very good with this current rework. They changed a couple things. Mainly, you are getting a little bit less lifesteal from your second skill, Feast, which is not that big of a deal. It no longer gives attack speed. Instead, that is in your third skill. They removed Open Wounds, the ability that you'd use to slow opponents while lifestealing any damage dealt to them for you and your allies. Now, Ghoul Frenzy, your third skill, is a movement speed slow on your enemies, and it also gives you attack speed. So basically, it's a chase skill. You should think of it kind of like an Orb of Venom, basically. It gives 20 to 50 attack speed and slows up to 25%. Rage mana cost scales up now. And your Infest mana cost also is increased based on the level. It's no longer 50 at all levels. It's 100, 150, 200. So that's the changes to the hero. Your level 20 talent is no longer Open Wounds cooldown. It's a Ghoul Frenzy slow. It's 8% at level 20. That would put it from a 25 slow to a 33 slow, which is pretty solid. It doesn't go through spell immunity, by the way, so it won't work against BKBs. And then they rework Scepter, which allows infesting the enemy heroes for 4 seconds. Meaning that you attack them while you're inside every 1.25 seconds. Enemy heroes gain no bonuses from Infest, and it doubles your self-regen rate, increases your cast range to 500, reduces the cooldown to 25 seconds. So basically it turns your ultimate into a Tricks of the Trade-like thing for Riki, where you are basically safe and inside your opponent dealing damage. Now, this game, I was definitely considering buying Ags because of the fact that they had a lot of scary disables this game. Silence from Skywrath Mage is a huge worry, as is like Shackles from Sand King. They can also initiate really quick with Burrow Strike, or they can blink and silence with Puck. This is a lot of big threats to me this game, and I was pretty concerned with the heroes I was up against. So buying something like Ags looked pretty appealing, because after Rage runs out after 6 seconds, this is the moment where you kill Lifestealers. And you can solve the issue by buying something like a Manta or another Dispel and Lifestealer, but it's not fun to do that typically. It's just not enjoyable because it's not a very efficient item in terms of damage. BKB can definitely work because then you can rage into BKB and then shortly after rage again, but you know, it's not necessarily the best thing that you want to spend your money on if you can get away with it. So I thought buying this is really unfortunate. These creeps were just a little bit too high and I didn't recognize it early enough. But yeah, just making sure that you can lane stabilize in that way is pretty important. So skill build for laning, I'm pretty sure that getting Feast level 1 is best because every time you hit a creep, you're getting 8 HP for a melee creep. So if you hit creeps a little bit, then you're talking a little bit more HP regen in your laning stage. I went other standard items. Most carries buy 1 Tango with a Ring of Regen or 2 Mangoes, and then you get Quelling Blade and you get like 1 stat item, either a what's it called? The like your Slippers of Agility or your Gauntlet of Strength. But those primary attributes ones, the +3 ones, this is dangerous. I kind of took a lot of damage here unnecessarily, maybe, but basically, Circlet and the other primary things are pretty close in cost. So generally, I'd rather just buy a Circlet at this point, just because it gives you a little bit more of everything. Not that I really need mana on Lifestealer. That's actually something that's kind of a waste now, because literally all you need to spend mana on is Rage. That's why they increased the mana cost of Infest, because otherwise, like, Int or mana regen items would be completely useless on the hero. Oh yeah, the shard for the hero is Open Wounds, in case you were curious what his shard was. And there, I think I did end up buying this game, so I'll talk about that later when it ends up coming up. But basically what I'm aiming to do is just try not to die. He probably should have Burrow Striked me there after that hit went through, because I was going to fight for that range creep. They didn't pressure me nearly as hard as they should have. And once they hit level 3, I'm certainly killable. Like, they could just out-harass me, basically. Ideally, what I would have is a little bit of regen. I probably should have just pulled the creeps. I did this a little bit late, but now that I see Sky is not close to me, I'm going to be a lot more willing to slap creeps. I also have to be worried about going near creeps because of the fact that, like, this was quite good. I had to enrage here because it was going to save me at least like 100 HP. Here I am bringing myself a wand, planning to bring a Tango out. And I just want to slap these creeps a lot because I'm getting 8 HP per hit. I don't want to max out Feast early. I think this is a skill that's least valuable to max out right now. I thought I would get Burrow Striked here and that they would try to kill me, so I used Rage in that moment in anticipation of trying to stop it. But here I am trying to decide what to skill next. So because I'm being pressured a lot, and and basically consistently as Lifestealer, it's good to buy a Bracer because it gives you 8 damage. 8 damage, obviously very good for staying alive. I expected the Burrow Strike. I wanted a Rage here, but I couldn't quite do it in time. I didn't really want to Rage right there because I wasn't going to take any more magic damage, but realistically I probably could have. I Raged this one because I didn't want to take the extra damage, and now I'm going to go aggressive here. We have pretty good slow here due to my passive. I thought he was probably dead at this moment, so I decided to back up. Unfortunately, it was just level 1 Maledict, so it wasn't the most powerful, but here's the value of Ghoul Frenzy, basically. And this is what makes it kind of a bad skill, but kind of a good skill. Good players are going to anticipate the movement speed slow, and that's all it is a movement speed slow. It's effectively an Orb of Venom, so like, if they just stun you one time, you're usually out of range. Skywrath Mage, for example, is equally as fast as I am on Lifesteal. He's a really fast hero. I used Rage here because I didn't want to take the bonus damage from the passive. But if you're not faster than them already while slowing, then you're only catching up. So the fact that he's already a pretty fast support hero without needing boots is pretty good. I think he didn't have boots. Yeah, 325 equal speed as me. So me using Ghoul Frenzy to try to chase him down is definitely very effective. But against good players, they're just going to nuke you, and you're not going to be able to get away from that. So what I wanted to do next was further enhance my movement speed advantage. Because realistically, they're not going to beat me in trading because of the fact that my attack speed is really high. Got 30 attack speed from Ghoul Frenzy. I'm getting a little bit of lifesteal every time I slap, and also Rage's bonus movement speed. So what I wanted to buy next was Orb of Venom and Boots of Speed. And this is a little dangerous, depending on the supports, but against a hero like Skywrath Mage, this felt viable to do because he's very low armor, and his HP is just okay. And also, he can't really stop me from killing him unless he like silences me and then slows me, because otherwise I could Rage off the slow and get movement speed advantage and therefore still chase him down. So despite the lane being a bit iffy, and to be honest, they should have pressured me a lot better, of course, I think this is a good way to potentially start getting kills. So, but as a whole, I've been able to mostly stabilize. I could have maybe Raged here. I was thinking about it, but I didn't want to do it because I knew that I wanted to get a kill soon. So I wanted to save my cooldown. And realistically, I've got kind of a lot of HP here anyway, so I'm not at all concerned. And here I was pinging my Orb of Venom to show that I'm super ready to get a kill. So here I am, Orb of Venom and 3 Ghoul Frenzy. So now you can see how good the slow is. I'm going to Rage here to remove the slow that I was being hit by. Now we're going to change the Sand King because that other guy's pretty far under tower. This is starting to look pretty bad though. I'm going to run out of Sandstorm, then we're going to run back and disengage. I did about half HP damage to the sky, which was good, but as a whole, this was not the most fantastic engagement. And it is just pretty clear that your damage is just not that incredible. I was thinking about turning here. I think I told Chachi to turn here. Especially because Sandstorm was already used. And I've got a pretty big wand, and I'm healing. And plus he has Witch Doctor heal, which is actually huge in this circumstance. So I'm just going to keep slapping. Thank God we had our Sentry Ward. I knew that he was going to die, so I just wanted to plan ahead and go for the Sky next. And here's the trade-off. Like, it was not a flashy fight, but this is basically the strength of Lifestealers. You basically have to understand, like, are you going to be able to win trades or not? And compared to most carries, he's actually very good at fighting in the early game. Most carries are really bad at that right now. Like, a lot of hard carries, like, if we pause the game really quick and go look at, close your eyes, go over here. If we look at, so this is the sorted by role assistant based on Divine and Up players. So these are the better players in the game. And so it's basically, this is something you get with Dota Plus. I really like it because it makes choosing heroes a lot easier. When I'm picking with like 8 seconds to spare kind of thing. If you look at all the hard carries, the safe lane carries, there are not a lot of heroes here, and almost all of these heroes are not super flashy. They hit creeps for a very long time, and then they use that farm to buy like accelerating items like Battle Fury, that kind of thing, and then they get more and more farmed. They aren't very tempo setters. Generally, most of them, some of these are like Ricky and Clinks can be pretty good, obviously, and some of the other heroes can. But basically, these are carries. These are heroes that like typically like aren't super strong in lane. Spectre has been really popular lately. Sven is not the strongest laner. A lot of these guys can be pressured decently well. Wraith King is really good right now, but a lot of these other guys are pretty passive. They don't usually expect to get kills or to pressure the enemy heroes. However, Lifestealer can actually do that with Ghoul Frenzy, because you have this built-in slow. I think if you don't buy an Orb of Venom when you play Lifestealer, assuming you have any kill potential at all, then I think you're probably making a mistake because of the fact that you're basically getting a free Orb of Venom, so you might as well also buy Orb of Venom, because this is an advantage that literally no other carry has. I was a little bit worried here. I just raged, used my wand, getting some slaps in, of course. I was thinking about infesting a creep, but took a lot of damage there. I still can. decided to buy Phase as well. So basically, like, if I just have Orb of Venom and say, like, oh, this isn't that big of a deal, I'll just stick with what I had, then that's fine. But right now I'm healing with Infest. You get to control the creep automatically, so I just did this. Got that deny. Was that sick or what? I'm just doing this basically to re-heal my HP to full. I can also run at this guy now and then jump out and then go for some slaps. Ooh, he wasted his slow here, I think. I didn't necessarily want to hard commit because I would have been burrow striked afterwards, but maybe I could have chased that guy down more. But if we look at what happened to him, that's actually really painful because he's going to have to use tangos to heal back up. So against a support like Skywrath Mage who doesn't necessarily have Tranquil boots, because Skies almost never rush Tranquil, that was actually a big issue. I don't know why I let him get that range creep. That was really weird of me. But yeah, Ghoul Frenzy's maxed out. I've got maximum farm speed basically that my build allows. And I've also got maximum chase and harassment for opponents. So one thing that's a little bit bad about Lifestealer right now that you need to keep in mind about the changes to his skills is that you no longer can initiate from range, basically. Open Wounds was not a long cast range, but the fact that you basically have to start slapping somebody makes it a lot harder to initiate, because most of the time you're going to have to use, like, Rage to go after somebody. For movement speed reasons, basically. Well, this is perfect. That's not going to affect me. Now I get a kill. Now I'm going to go for him instead. I should have cut that tree a little earlier. But see how much movement speed advantage I have with face? He already wasted his slow, so there's basically nothing he can do. And this is where I realized, like, okay, I like stomped my lane now. Getting that double kill by myself was a huge advantage. And just something that they're not really going to anticipate. And it's probably them being a little unfamiliar with my hero. And also the fact that we had a sentry ward. If we don't have a sentry ward there, I don't get a double kill. And also if he doesn't use his slow at the same time that I rage, then I probably don't get a double kill. I might just get one of those kills. So because we were winning this lane pretty confidently, I felt comfortable to go grab both bounty runes. I'm going to let Chachi get the other one while I grab this one, just to make sure that they don't get both. And then I was trying to think about what item I want to buy. Now, when you play Lifestealer, it's very common to, at least nowadays, there used to be a period where you'd go Radiance like almost all the time. I don't think that's very good right now. I should be in the lane probably more than jungling, even if I'm getting some lifesteal here, and I kind of figured that out as time went on. But it's just better to last hit creeps in lane, basically, because it's more gold, and it's a little takes less time, basically. Anyways, I also could have bought the other item upgrade. I don't think it would have been unreasonable to get, what's that item? Orb of Corrosion. The nicest thing about Orb of Corrosion, which I realized the other day, is that not only is it like, it's an okay item, it's a little expensive, but most importantly, your Blightstone that reduces armor by 2, Orb of Corrosion reduces armor by 3, actually. So you are getting more benefits than I thought before. I thought that they were just all kind of combining together and you get 25 more health. It's really like the -3 armor. It's like a half deso, which is pretty effective for some heroes. For my hero, it's not terrible because I was going to buy Orb of Venom anyways. So I don't know, maybe I should have bothered with it, just because the minus armor would be pretty good with my already okay attack speed, but I think it's also okay that I didn't upgrade it. I feel like most pros probably would, but again, we haven't seen Lifestealer very much because he's basically just not good, is my feeling. The fact that this slow is so like rudimentary just makes the hero not feel that amazing, basically. I thought he was going to burrow strike there, so I went for it. Somebody's about to call my phone, guys. Let me check to see if it's important. It is not. It's another spam call. So, because I had a ridiculous amount of money this game, and I had more kills than I was supposed to, I basically got to decide, like, what should I spend my money on? I can go any item in the game. Armlet is quite good traditionally in Lifestealer because it gives you armor, attack speed, and HP. And raw HP is something that you need a little bit on Lifestealer. See how I'm pressuring him here? Puck comes to gank me, so I'm just going to TP away with Rage. I was very pleased about this. That was really close, but we made it. Did he have Hex? He did, actually, so I TP just in time. When I'm behind a tower like that and you see the enemy mid-rotate, that's really bad stuff. But the fact that they rotated and I was able to TP away was, like, amazing. Because now they can't gank with their teleport scroll, because they just used it. And now they're on the top side of the map, and they're not going to be very effective. So, 8 jelly. I maybe shouldn't have done this, actually, because, again, the mana regen on this hero is really not needed. With that said, maybe I didn't notice it because I had jelly, but I really just didn't have to worry about it. So anyways, the itemization that I decided to buy was Maelstrom. And the reason I wanted to buy Maelstrom is because it's like a mini MKB. It's a 30% chance to proc, and when it does, your hit goes through. So against a hero like Troll Warlord, it felt relatively useful for me to have this item, because it was going to increase my farm rate, something I was definitely concerned about. But I didn't really want to buy a Battle Fury. So with my farm rate increased, I thought that was going to be pretty useful in countering Troll, but also getting good farm rate. So bought Maelstrom first. Leaves my raw HP a little bit weak, of course. I wanted to deny that. This is a little dangerous. If he shackles me and he does like Burrow Strike Epicenter, I die probably. But see how little damage I'm doing, of course? It's not the greatest. I'm going to run away while Epicenter goes off so I take less damage. And then I'm going to go on this guy when he's a little bit distracted. This very good cask really helped out there. Unfortunately, my Maelstrom didn't go in my inventory just yet. But now we hit him with the good slows, and everything works out really good. Very important there that I defended the tower, but only in this circumstance. Normally, it's really dangerous to do this, guys. But the reason it felt good is because I'm really far ahead. And because with my net worth advantage, I actually counter the heroes pretty well. In the sense that Rage is pretty long duration, and that I can just slap people, and they're so slowed at this stage that they legitimately can't survive. Nobody's going to have a Glimmer Cape at this point. So me having like level 10 and now getting the 30 attack speed talent is really good for overall my progression in the game. So I'm still in a position where I can basically do whatever I want this game, and I have like a stupid abundance of farms, so keep in mind this is not going to be traditional. Most games you should have probably less kills than this, and if your opponents have like any mobility at all, like an Earth Spirit, they're just going to roll away from you. Moving high ground in this position is normally a little dangerous as a carry, but again, because I am farther ahead on net worth, I'm going to feel more comfortable to do aggressive things, especially if my allies are playing near me. And now that we see them all pushing up, what we're going to do is go run in behind and go fight them again because we have advantage, so it feels really easy to go take these fights. We actually won like all 3 lanes this game, so that's part of the reason that everything felt pretty solid for us here. I'm going to do this so I don't get disabled by the Shaman. Getting literally no Maelstrom procs. There we go, finally got one. Now I could go fight, or I could go farm gold. And I got the tower deny, which is a lot of gold for the team too. Maybe I should have ran at the puck, but I kind of felt like this gold is like way too good to pass up. And I got the tower deny, which is overall very good for us. So now we won another fight on our team, despite losing the tower. So now I'm basically 1,800 gold into my next item, even though like a Maelstrom timing around here would be semi-okay. And this is where I made my first like big blunder. It was my item purchase. I did decide to buy Mjolnir right away, and usually that's almost always a mistake. Like, Mjolnir does very comparable things to what Maelstrom does. The nice thing about Mjolnir is you are, getting more attack speed in an already existing item slot, and your procs do a little bit more damage. So Maelstrom procs do 140, Mjolnir procs do 170. They have the same proc chance. Mjolnir can jump more times, up to 12 instead of 4. And you also get the shield. But the shield wasn't that good, in my opinion. I know that guy was going to die, so I went for the Skywrath Mage right away. That way we could get a double. And then I'm going to run at either one of these guys. I think the fight's probably over, so I instantly go back to jungling. But yeah, buying the Mjolnir right away is probably not worth it. The Hyperstone here is fine, by all means. But realistically, what I probably should have done is bought something like an SNY instead. Because SNY would have rounded out my raw HP a lot better. Like, look how far ahead I am in net worth. It's massive, right? From the next closest enemies. But the downside is that I've got all this damage, but I have literally no raw HP. So if I ever get initiated on and disabled, I'm just going to die. Because, like, they can easily kill me if they hit me with a stun and do Sky combo. I'm 100% dead. If they get, like, a Blink Dagger on Sand King and they burrow stun me while Sky does his stuff, I die. No doubt about it. Because I'm not going to be able to rage in time, most likely. So, rushing Mjolnir, not safe. But I wanted to do it because I was really far ahead, so I was like, screw it, let's do it. I'm going to put my quelling back in here. So what this will be useful for is putting the buff on myself or enemies or allies. That way, while they take damage, they're going to reflect some damage as well. I'm going over here to fight because my team is fighting. This doesn't look very good for my team, though. Tried too hard to kill that guy. This is where things look not good. Nothing to infest. I mean, I got some good damage out with the Mjolnir procs here, but like I kind of almost got a kill, but didn't quite work out. I want to see the fight recap here. If there's creeps here, we certainly could have done something, most likely, because then I could have infested, but I did a lot of damage. I definitely did a lot of damage, but only does so much. I don't know if SNY would have solved that, or even a Sanj. Sanj probably wasn't going to make a huge difference here, but I told Moonhead to buy a Blink here. He ended up buying a Radiance instead, which was not that bad either. I'm definitely going to want that item. Any item that increases my damage is going to be pretty effective. So, Broom Handle, you only lived for so long. I don't remember what kind of damage I died to. It's like a mix of magical and physical. But that was a huge fight for them. They got a lot of net worth back from that. Not that they're that close. I queued up SNY now, knowing that I needed SNY. Let's speed up a little bit while I'm respawning. I'm going over here to farm the Tri-Camp. That's because Moonhead's already down here, so he's likely going to be able to clean up all this stuff. Normally I wouldn't TP necessarily so defensively. I should have cut this tree when I ran through. That way you run in a straight line instead of running around. It's a little bit more efficient. That stuff adds up. Let's go back to normal speed here. So I'm just going to use a small moment here to farm since I was on this side of the map anyways. I should probably be farming on the enemy side of the map. So I'm going to start moving that way. If I back up and just continue to do the Tri-Camp, then I'm not utilizing my net worth advantage. But if I farm over here on this side of the map, if there's a fight mid or a fight bottom, I'm way closer and it's just easier to engage in the fight. With my invis, I'm just going to go look for initiation opportunity. If we have any detection here, it's really easy to do. And at this point I realize they have a sentry, so I'm just going to start hitting the creeps. I could turn on Mjolnir and stand in the sandstorm. They almost wrecked me here, but they went in, they just messed up the initiation. Like, I easily should have died there. I'm going to turn this on because it's going to do reflection slowly. He ends up getting blasted, but they should have killed me there 100%. There's no way I should have lived. And I'm going top because, alright, so just to pause for a second. The reason I should have died was because it was what I said before. Burrow strike into literally anything and I explode. I'm dead. They burrow striked me. Puck got there just a little bit too late, so Sand King just needed to wait like half a second more to burrow strike, and then they would have gotten me. Burrow strike into silence into sky combo, I'm dead. But instead I was able to get rage off, then they were already committed, and then I'm able to like use my high farm level and Mjolnir to get kills. So bad plays by them. I TP top because Troll was split pushing. I don't want to let him just hit this tower for free, because not only does he get good farm from the creeps, but also it's going to lose us advantage on the map. So completely reasonable for me to go there right away, even though we won a team fight. Like, maybe we could have pressured the tier 2 a little bit, but it wasn't that important. We got shrines super early. I noticed that. I was like, what the hell? Are the tier 2's dead already? It was dead way too early, like before 20 minutes. I don't know what the hell they did. I don't know if they didn't glyph right or what, but maybe they were busy dying or something. I'm not sure. But it was kind of remarkable how well that all went. And now that I'm close to 2,000 gold, I'm going to buy Sange first. That's because status resistance is hard to get these days. So having Sange is not only going to give me damage, but also status resistance and raw HP. All things I really need right now. It's like a very dead person. And because everyone else there is already dead, I'm not going to go run in. I was going to fight, of course, but it is not worth it here. I'm farming pretty fast with the Mjolnir, but again, I got like 5 free attack speed out of upgrading it, and I got a little bit more damage from the Mjolnir, but as a whole, not incredible. I'm going to wait to clear this. I probably should have started running mid a little bit earlier. If I was there, I could have saved his life with Infest. That's one of the nicest things about Lifestealer right now, is that infesting an ally is going to heal them for 800 HP now, which is insane. So you can basically use it as your carry, but you can also save people. So if I infest Necrophos there, he lives, then we turn the fight without him dying. So it wasn't really good that went like such. I should have raged there, but I was sloppy. But now it'll be really easy. I don't even think I necessarily needed to rage at that point. Try to get my slap off. Chachi just killed him though. If that puck is higher level, he doesn't die there. Yeah, his phase shift was... Well, I mean, he doesn't have a defensive item either. He's trying to go Witchblade. Couple issues. But because we got a kill there, we can just pressure basically wherever we want to. I should have gone the Catapult Acid, of course. Then we're going to stay in this general area. Because again, we don't want to let them... If we go farm like over here, then they just farm their jungle and they feel more comfortable. But if we farm like right here, they're only going to get... They're going to get very, very few resources, basically. Moonhead's a little bit out right now. He's a little bit pressurable, but with him having a Radiance, he should be able to kill the wave quick and then run away to go play defensively. Him running over here is kind of dangerous. If he's buying something, it's fine, but it's kind of dangerous otherwise. I don't think he bought anything. He's just running mid. So there's now a mid fight. Chachi had just bought a gem, so I was like, I gotta get that fucking gem, dude. A little dangerous for me, but almost got him with the thing. This is now dangerous. It's gonna be a lot of damage. Chose to infest the creep here because my HP is a little bit low. And go into melee range. And I'm running away because I don't want to fight him when Rage is gone. But because Blanket is still there, I decided to double back just a little bit here. I also want to get rid of the gem in my inventory because it's preventing me from having a Orb of Venom. And then I'm also going to go finish my Yasha now. To just further enhance my movement speed to make it easier for me to go in and out. I also got the 25 damage talent. It's pretty common. I'm just going to Rage and run. I know that unless he has Basher, he just can't catch me right now when I run away. But because we had some TPs coming, I felt comfortable turning at that point. He definitely overchased. When you're behind like this, you can't overchase in any circumstances because almost always your opponents are going to be able to punish you. It's just a lot safer to do really focused precision strikes basically to kill your opponent when stupid for Pugna to take this wave. I could have done this. He could have gone somewhere else. And therefore we would have been more efficient together. But you have to be really careful. Like run top instantly. Like they could definitely pick us off continuously, right? Like they could have killed Necro top with a Burrow Strike and Sky combo. Plus maybe a third hero. Or Puck plus Sanking. Like they have the ways to do it. But they're just not doing it very well is the primary issue. I think we decided to Rosh here because the troll was dead. One downside is I am not getting any lifesteal from Rosh, unfortunately. That makes this a little bit harder. Picked up my Orb of Venom because we're going to need it in the fight. My HP is a little bit low, so this is kind of hard. I'm just going to run this guy down because I know I can kill him. I have to get out of this before phase runs out, and I ran out, unfortunately. I'm going to infest Blanket to make sure he's alive. Then jump back in. Maybe infested him a little too early, but I wasn't 100% sure I could kill him. I wasn't keeping track of his abilities, but it all worked out pretty good. There's no bounty rune there, so decided to go back, finish camp, and take Rosh. Probably should have just ran right into Rosh instead of slapping the large camp because it's more important, but this gives him a little bit more time to respawn. Now I'm queuing up MKB because I want an item solution against Troll's Mist that like for sure guarantees that I'm not going to have any trouble there. Using Mjolnir to shock, and then decided to drop the Bracer last second. Because I still recognize that I'm still very killable if they execute correctly. They weren't doing that, but if I do make a mistake, having Aegis is going to be really nice. Sell Bracer, sell the other item, which I should have sold a long time ago, and then I'm picking this up because it's going to increase my farm rate by a decent amount. Now Pugna fucked me again by coming top to push. This is an absolute waste. There's no reason for him to TP top when I'm already here, because he's looking for places to farm. I don't know where he TP'd from, but he could have been like literally he could have gone almost anywhere else. He keeps messing up my farm. I attacked a creep once here, which screwed me. Then he got more movement speed than I thought he would. I guessed that he would keep going, and I was right here. I should have probably used this earlier. You can show how far ahead. It's clear how far ahead we are. He shouldn't have gone to here. That was kind of dangerous, in my opinion. But yeah, definitely should have static charged myself. I don't think he did that right. He might have been better off. I wanted to kill all I mean, I could fight with my team, but I could also get all this gold. I'm just doing my duty, guys. That's all. Promise. We won the fight anyways, right? See if we can get zaps off. Yep, got a little zap in there. Because he was taking Spirit Vessel damage, so I was going to give him extra little procs here. Dude, MKB is so expensive these days. Evasion Talon at 20. Again, I could have gotten Ghoul Frenzy slow, which would have been okay. But I felt like Evasion against Troll would be excellent. And it definitely is. Really good against Troll. It's okay against like the Serpent Wards, but mainly against Troll. Like a little bit of evasion goes a long way. Got new neutral items here. Paladin Sword, I was like, hell yeah, that's my item. Because it gives you damage about the same as the Imp Claw. But then I got a better one here. And the lifesteal is fine, like getting more heal is really good, but Quickening Charm was not it. I got the Elven Tunic, I think. Elven Tunic's really good on melees. This, I saw Puck ulti, so I did the smart thing and eventually I just TP'd out. I took way too long to do this. In hindsight, I took way too long to do this. I was a little bit close. Like, if Puck uses an ulti on me like that, and he's in a weird position, like, I was surprised that he was here. Why is he here? You know? I should have instantly raged and TP'd. Spider Leg's really good on Lifestealer, because it's going to give me better capabilities to chase down, but I didn't really feel like I needed it, because I had movement speed. Oh, I didn't grab movement speed talent, sorry. I've got S and Y, and I've got phase, so I felt pretty capable speed-wise. But Spider Leg's genuinely not bad. And in some senses, it's really good because it would give me a solution for post-rage. I use rage, and then I'm screwed, right? So instead, what maybe I could do... I can definitely kill this guy with MKB now. I messed up here. I needed a creep to infest, but there were none because I killed them all. Drag this in. Used rage to run faster. Giving up on Puck now because I'm probably not going to catch him. You know I love farming wards. I probably used rage too early too. I basically used it to remove axes and I didn't need to. I could have just slapped him normally and it would have been fine. So, lost Aegis, but it's okay. Didn't die. Queuing up Axe, because I was like, I want to get it now, because that would have been a great moment to have it. Rage a bunch. Once it's over, infest a guy, get a couple more attacks in for free. I'm going to grab this because it's relatively safe for me to do it. And then I'll double back and hit creeps again. Probably could have had Quelling Blade in this exact moment to farm a little faster, but it's not that big of a deal because my damage is relatively high here. And I see people bottom, so I'm going to TP. I should have waited a fraction of a second, unfortunately, but I did not. This is a little dangerous chasing this guy down, but with Moonhead coming here, it feels pretty comfortable now. So the reason Elven Tunic is really good on especially melee carries is I think mostly the movement speed aspect. Like you're getting a free Yasha basically. It basically does a lot of the stuff that Yasha does. You don't get damage of Yasha, but that's fine. And he jaunts over. We spent way too much time chasing this guy. But movement speed, a little bit more evasion is excellent, and the attack speed is obviously really good. So it's kind of the perfect neutral item. But with this, that said, I kind of realized that we're having lockdown problems. I was like, I really should just buy a basher. And this is the other aspect is that, I think, did I buy my shard here? I think I bought my shard here. No, I didn't. I bought it soon though, maybe after basher. I basically realized that we don't have very good ranged initiation. And this is where I started to feel the limits of, like, I felt like I had to rage just to gap close sometimes, whereas before you could open wounds and then get closer and then rage. But now you need to rage sometimes just for the movement speed bonus, so it feels a little bit wacky at times. There's a very low chance I kill that guy, but maybe he'll jump bottom. Could also run a troll here. Here's that slow. I tried to run back and infest him. Perfect time for the lightning shield or whatever, chain lightning or whatever it's called. No, static charge. Now back to hitting buildings because I know I'm going to be fine. 25%, 30% evasion actually between the two 16s. So that was nice. Basically got a butterfly, now I can buy a basher. I really did think about getting open wounds here, because I could use it to better disable people that are a little bit harder to kill. Puck, Sand King, that kind of thing. I don't know why that got bought back. That was really weird. They're all dead anyways. I confused the team a lot here, because I wanted to get my item, but I didn't want it to die to tower. So I made them think that I was going mid. I wasn't. I wanted to go top. But here's my basher now. 35 damage item for strength heroes. Bash quite good, of course. But again, this is all fine. I can slap buildings. I'm not worried. And then hypothetically, I could go like Abyssal as well, of course. That'd be the best for killing Puck. I don't necessarily think Deso is needed on this item right now, on this hero right now. It's not particularly like incredible. I don't think. This is probably not needed. I could have just gone mid, I think. Why am I running this way? I genuinely don't know why I'm doing that. This one feels bad. We already cut the creep wave, so me running like this is a waste. If anything, I should have gone here, like this, farm straight down, instead of going wide. I went wide looking for a creep wave, but I was not thinking. Like, finally I'm getting a new creep wave, but I could have even done like here, and then come here. Inefficient. Alright, so there's my shard. So this is the, 8-second duration, 25-second cooldown. So it's pretty long cooldown. I showed on the creep wave, so they're fighting over here now, which is a good idea. Could have just sat by my team, and there's no chance we lose fight. I open wounds this guy. Again, I should have used static charge on Moonhead like right away. I'm gonna infest him. Moonhead is now getting blocked by a slower hero continuously though. It's alright, they got the kill. Does it dispel? No, I don't think it does. It just ran out at the same time. We got 1200 health, 25% movement speed. It's pretty good. Somebody's Mage Slayer. That's right, he bought Mage Slayer this game. It's kind of weird. Eternal Shroud when you have Radiance is pretty good actually. That was a decent itemization. I just kind of felt like buying Ags was a little bit weird this game. Maybe if they didn't have somebody that had evasion built into their toolkit, then I could have skipped MKB and gone Ags instead, but then my damage would have certainly been a lot lesser, which would have been kind of weird. You could also argue that my raw damage is not high enough. It's very based on like magic damage procs between Mjolnir and MKB, which is kind of wacky, but like I like the idea for Ags. I just don't know if it's ever worth buying early, kind of. I don't know. I guess it's an alternate to having to buy a BKB. It's not something that you're going to want to buy consistently at all. See, right here, open wound's amazing for gap closing. I wouldn't have gotten that kill otherwise without open wounds. But so I think it should be looked at as like an alternate to having to buy a BKB or something like that. Always got to kill those wards. But I think that's generally the way to play Lifestealer. Again, against your guys' pub in your guys' pub games, it might feel a little different, and people aren't going to be very coordinated. So I genuinely think that Lifestealer for pro games is bad right now. Probably. He like lanes okay. I think he lanes better than most carries, so maybe that would be valued. But against like good players, I feel like they're just going to have really easy solutions against this. So I'm not really sold on Lifestealer being good. I had a way above average performance this game. Like this is infinitely better than I would feel normally about Lifestealer. But I abused his third skill in lane to get an abundance of kills, and it was that like there's like that knife's edge balance. Like Lifestealer's either countered by silences and chain stuns, or he's ahead a little bit, and then he counters them because he's strong enough HP-wise to play aggressively. He uses Rage and gets a kill before Rage ends, and then he can escape. But if like my farm level isn't high enough, then I don't get a kill there necessarily, and then they possibly kill me right after Rage. So it becomes a lot harder to play. But like Jug, you can farm fairly safely on the map because you have Rage. you can just rage TP places, assuming they don't have BKB piercing stuns. If they do have a Tusk or something like that, then I can't necessarily farm super aggressively on the map. It's a little bit more dangerous. But that game worked really well. But I think trend-wise, he's not doing very good. Here's Divine and up. His win rate's not good, guys. He is not a strong hero. So don't let this game fool you, because it is not this is not normal. Health has more win rate, as does movement speed. Everybody goes damage attack speed, though. I could see movement speed being a little bit better now, actually, based on the fact that you don't have open wounds anymore. This actually makes some sense. Ghoul Frenzy slow, has a higher win rate. But that's... I don't know. I guess it is 8% extra slow. Feast Lifesteal has higher win rate, but I definitely went Rage Duration because of how many disables they had. 1.2% is kind of a lot, but it's only the heal you get. So if you're fighting super tanky guys, it's kind of a lot, I guess. But interesting. But yeah, his win rate's not good, so try not to play him too often. But if you guys want to mess around and try a new carry, give Lifestealer a shot. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Please support me on Patreon and sub to my Twitch channel. And I think that's it. Follow me everywhere. Goodbye.